Bhavish Aggarwal is known for changing the goalpost and missing the promises. In Q3 of FY26, he wants us to believe that Ola Electric is at the cusp of a turnaround. I have got three simple slides to explain you the promises he is making now and the challenges to deliver on such promises. The very first thing, Ola Electric founder Bhavish Aggarwal is now saying is that the build-up phase जो था Ola का वो ऑलमोस्ट खत्म हो चुका. सो इस स्लाइड से हम समझेंगे वेयर ओला इज टुडे द पीरियड बिटवीन लेट्स से 2022 to 2026 and what it means for Ola and for the investor, and then we will understand the challenges for this slide. So the very first thing is the manufacturing capacity. Now capacity is ready for 1 million, that is 10 lakh vehicle per year, and the 6 gigawatt cells capacity is also ready. Now he is saying that now the focus is to fill the capacity. So the capacity is ready and now उनको बेचने हैं whether it's cell, whether it's scooter. So वो phase now अब start हो जाएगा. Second is the Gigafactory investment. Now this is scaling from 2.5 gigawatt per hour to 6 gigawatt per hour by March 26. So it's just 3 months away. So cell integration to improve unit economics and margins will now start. Third, he is talking about the R&D investment. They have made some rupees 2,000 crore investment in this platform. Now this is a generation 3 platform now which they are saying is now mature and stable. So future launches need limited incremental R&D. So limited, so R&D में भी जो पैसा खर्च होगा वो incrementally होगा. मेजर इन्वेस्टमेंट हो चुका है. सिमिलरली मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैपेसिटी में भी जितना खर्चा करना था वो सब हो चुका है. एवरीथिंग इज रेडी. नाउ इफ यू लुक एट द टेक्नोलॉजी स्टैक, मोटर्स, बैटरी, सेल, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड सॉफ्टवेयर इन हाउस, एवरीथिंग ही इज बिल्डिंग इन हाउस. What it means next, structural cost advantage versus peers. So this is what he's saying. Since Ola is manufacturing everything in house, तो उनको एक cost advantage होगा. And finally is the revenue potential. He is talking about a capacity that will support 15,000 to 20,000 crore revenue potential. So growth now depends on demand recovery. So this is what they have done so far. This is what it means. Now I'll move to the challenges. Especially if you look at Ola's past, they have failed to deliver on many promises. So here the company says it can support 1 million. Is around 10 lakh vehicles, and second promise he is making is 15 to 20,000 crore revenue potential. Now if you do a reality check, current deliveries have fallen sharply, 32,680 units in Q3. So even if you take let's say 40,000, he is making around 1,20,000 scooters. So capacity utilization is still very low. And second, the key risk is no longer building capacity, it is filling capacity. Now that's where the major challenges lies. Now second thing he's claiming that the R&D investment of around 2,000 crore which I showed you in earlier has stabilized. But commercial success still unproven. I mean that's the big risk. Second is the Gen 3 platform still needs to prove durability, service quality and customer trust. Service execution issues have already hurt demand perception recently. If you look at the last 2-3 years, the one big issue was the service, and second is the kind of fire we have seen in the Ola scooter. So platform maturity doesn't mean you have an easy access to now market. So another thing, Bhavish Aggarwal of Ola is saying, is that the product pipeline, is ready, and management says, multiple products are in, advanced, stages. Now investors should ask, will launches drive demand? I mean, this is what was a big challenge earlier. The Ather and the others are, racing ahead where Ola has gone down. Now will service network support scale? Now अगर कल scale होता है तो will they be able to manage service standards? Now third is the will competition intensify before launches, because Ather and other competitor Bajaj Auto and TVS, they have also lined up lot of launches. So Ola's biggest risk has historically been execution, not announcement. So today what all we are saying is the announcement. So we have to see how he executes, going forward. Now, the second big claim or the promise, Bhavish Aggarwal is making is that on the cost reset, and let's, study, what, Ola did, earlier, what is changing now, and third is the investor, interpretation. Now, if you look at the quarterly, opex, operating expenses, now they claim that it peaked in Q4 of FY25. So 840 crore. Now, what is changing now? They are claiming that they have reduced it to 484 crore in Q3 of FY26. So cost cutting has already started. So in a way, if you only look at the numbers, yes, Bhavish Aggarwal ने यहाँ पर दिखाया है कि numbers has drastically reduced in the last 2-3 quarter. Now target opex aggressive expansion mode में है, target 250 to 300 crore steady state में, and massive downsizing underway. Now this is the kind of cost reduction they are claiming. Retail network rapid store expansion. Now they have rationalized it to 700 stores. So a lot of rationalization happened, and going forward it will be expansion and consolidation. Now workforce and corporate startup style hiring and scale हुआ था पहले, 22 to 26, lean corporate structure बना दिया है अभी, and shift to survival discipline. Now we'll see how this new system now works to deliver more vehicle. Automation heavy manual processes से पहले अभी AI led back office automation है, efficiency will push cost cuts and all that. Break even reset, higher break even earlier, now 15,000 units में per month में break even हो जाएगा. This is what Bhavish Aggarwal is claiming. So lower scale needed to survive. So now they are claiming that we now have such a system where if you sell 15,000 units per month, the break even will happen. But again, let's see the challenges in operating in such a lean setup and also delivering higher scooter sales. So now this reset has happened because the growth has also slowed down in the last 2 or 3 quarters. So EV penetration has slowed down, service execution issues emerged, and the reset is reactive, not proactive. So ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है इन्वेस्टर के लिए, ये जो reset किया है that was not because of a proactive measure, that because of a reaction, because now you're not selling those number of scooters. So store rationalization signals weaker demand. Store reduced to 700 outlets. Some footprint is when orders were 40 to 50k per month in 2024. So orders were 40 to 50k per month in 2024. So you can imagine the kind of store rationalization they have done to achieve a lower number now. So today deliveries only 32,680 units in Q3 of FY26. So footprint sized for peak demand, but volumes currently far below peak. So break even lowered, but volumes falling. So new break even 15,000 units with a reduced cost setup. Reality deliveries declining quarter on quarter. Revenue dropped to 470 crore. So cost cuts are compensating for weak sales. Now other thing which the company has claimed or said that 85 to 90% of the costs are fixed. So high operating risk है because most opex जो है वो fixed है. Meaning if demand doesn't recover, losses will continue. If demand recovers, profit can scale fast because of the new cost model. So this creates a high operating leverage risk now for Ola Electric. Now this is the third promise which Bhavish Aggarwal has made on the service improvement side. So we will look at what went wrong earlier, what Ola claims now, and the investor takeaways. So core issue. So service scale and execution gap. This is what happened earlier. When we saw huge gaps. What Ola claims now, not a product quality problem. So Ola is saying जो हमारी problem थी पहले वो was a service related problem, not a product related problem. But partly product में भी हमने देखा, Ola scooter जो fire कई scooters में हुई थी. But company is saying our entire issue was the service related, and that's why our brand got impacted, and that's why the sales and other thing. Investor takeaway क्या है? Brand trust damage acknowledged. They are acknowledging कि brand में एक dent हुआ है. Parts availability, earlier supply chain bottlenecks थे, now D2C genuine parts platform है company के पास. So trying to fix the spare availability and everything for the service and other thing. Technician capacity, inefficient service staff था पहले. Now hiring and training ramp up हो गया है. So service infra being rebuilt. This is what they are claiming. Governance, weak service था, tracking नहीं होती थी पहले. Now tighter performance tracking कर दिया है. So process discipline being added, which is a good thing. Automation जो सर्विस सेंटर में था पहले manual service workflow था. So AI diagnostic and job cards आ गए हैं अब. Efficiency push in service operation. Backlog 14 days peak waiting time होता था पहले. Now reduced to 7 to 8 days. Improvement but still long. 7 से 8 दिन अभी भी बहुत ज़्यादा है. Service speed slow turnaround था, अभी 80% same day हो जाता है completion. Now early sign of stabilization we can say for investors. Now the big thing is that the management is really admitting that sales slowdown was driven by service perception, not product competitiveness. So on service side they are claiming their fault. So this is a huge strategic admission. The growth slowdown was self-inflicting operationally. So now let's see how the product competes. If your service is good now, the market wants to see how good is your product. So other thing is the service crisis already damaged brand trust. So company openly admits that brand trust impacted among prospective customers. So this means demand problem is reputation driven. Trust rebuild takes much longer than fixing processes. So processes तो fix हो गए हैं सब कुछ, लेकिन whether investors or the customers will again trust Ola, that will take time. Now this is what we discussed. Backlog reduced from 14 days to 7 to 8 days, but 7 to 8 days still long as compared to ICE competitors. An improvement must sustain at scale, because now they are talking about scale. So अगर scale में होगा और गाड़ियाँ बिकेंगी, they have to maintain much lower level, much lower than 7 to 8. So ये तीन promises हैं जो Bhavish Aggarwal is now making. One, he's saying the build-up phase is almost over, and second is the cost reset. The way they have reduced the entire operating model in terms of cost, and third, he is making tall promises on the services side, where they are also admitting that they were at fault on the services side. So there they have made big improvement. But again, the big question is, tomorrow when the scale comes, will they be able to maintain the service standard? This is something we have to watch very carefully in case of Ola Electric. And just to make a disclosure, I own Ola stocks in my portfolio. And in case you want to buy, sell, and hold Ola, I suggest do consult your financial advisor.